Welcome everybody to the Lazy Monkey Yoga Teacher Training Program. Wow, it's been a long time coming. I've been teaching my style of yoga, which is the Lazy Monkey Yoga style, for, God, a long time. Originally, I came up with the sequence. That means the progression of the class, how the class is supposed to develop as people are practicing it, because I was working with a lot of men, and I was working with a lot of older men, I'd say between the ages of 50 and even 75. So when I started working more heavily with men, and that's my specialty, although Lazy Monkey Yoga is for everyone of all ages, of all ethnicities and spiritual paths, whether they have disabilities or not, age. The Lazy Monkey Yoga class is unique because it's so adaptable to so many different circumstances. I've taught the Lazy Monkey Yoga class to, like I said, an older population, so a senior population. I've taught the class to people who had very serious health conditions, health problems. I've taught it as a nude yoga class at a nudist resort. And I've even taught it as a cannabis enhanced class for people who use medical marijuana, because it's a safe and effective way of taking care of the body and training the body. So it just so happens that the Lazy Monkey Yoga style became very, very popular here around New England. I've trained multiple people in this discipline. And now I actually finally have the resources to make this style of yoga and training in this style of yoga possible for the masses, for everyone to be able to benefit from this style. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so as you can see, I've got my Star Wars shirt on. And got a little bit of hay fever this morning, a little bit of allergies coming through, but that is not stopping me. There's nothing that's going to stop me from making my videos today and introducing you to this program. So this is the most laid back and chill learning program that you will ever go through. This class and all of the classes following are designed to be taken at your own pace. There's no rush. There's no hurry. Now, there might be some of you who have been very anxious to become certified as a yoga instructor for a long time. I was trained through YogaFit training programs for my first 200 hours, and for my 300 hours of advanced training, I trained at the International Yoga Institute in Virginia Beach under Master Adam. And what was very helpful about doing the YogaFit 200-hour program was it made it accessible to me. Like, I didn't have the ability to go off to a retreat for a whole month and take an entire month off of my life to get certified in yoga. And I also couldn't make weekly commitments for 6 months or a year to go to a yoga studio every single week or twice a month to train. So what YogaFit did was it broke down its 200-hour program into modules and levels, which allowed me to go take a level, take a module of the program, apply it in my life, study it, teach it, and then go back and continue to accumulate my hours until I became a 200-hour instructor. And it cost money. These being trained and becoming a yoga instructor cost a lot of money. It really does. As you can see, these trainings are $300 a pop. And that is basically what I had to pay also in order to do my modules, plus travel expenses. So at the end of the day, because of the way I went about getting certified in yoga, I must have spent at least $6,000, had to have been over $5,000 going to trainings and also having to pay for my gas and pay for my food and pay for my hotel when I went to do these trainings. So it cost a lot of money for me to become certified. And I'm not complaining, because yoga is my passion, religion and philosophy is my passion, spirituality is my passion, and teaching is my passion. I love to teach people things. I love teaching. So let's go ahead and talk about this program. I'm sure a lot of you who are coming to this program already know something about spirituality. You know, you might follow me on some of my other platforms, you know, some of the more exciting erotic ones, and then also other like TikTok, where I teach spirituality and stuff like that. Let's talk about what this program is going to entail. Like I said before, you need to take it easy, really, really, really easy, and not get stressed out over the amount of information that you're going to come across. There is a lot of information packed into this first module. And I'm going to go ahead and warn you now that your level 1 training, module 1 and module 2, are going to be the most mentally exhausting, I would say mentally exhausting aspects of this particular training when it comes to online learning, because we have to lay a complete foundation for this practice. And this practice is based in science and Chinese traditional medicine and Qigong, and everything yoga, okay? You have to understand how the human body functions. You should know how the human body works for yourself, because the more you learn about your body, the more you learn and understand yourself. Makes you aware of, you know, this temple, this physical temple that embodies and holds the spirit, you know. But people say that we're spiritual beings having a physical experience. Well, that might or might not be the case. But, you know, knowing about your body and how it works is so enriching. This is a very enriching program. You're going to get a lot out of it. A lot out of it. Way more than what you might think, you know, just by signing up for the first level and first module. Primarily, this module is a crash course. It's a crash course into the whole lazy monkey yoga style. And it's just the beginning. In this particular, I have my computer over here, so I'm looking at the outline of module 1, Earth, because also the way I've structured this program is based on the Chinese 5 elements. And you're going to learn about that later. It's crucially important that when you start this program, you immediately start journaling. Now, the lesson 2, and we're going to go through these lessons so that we can be really, really, really freaking clear about what the expectation is, the expectations you have for me and the expectations I have for you. It's crucially important that you start journaling. Why? That journal is for you. It's not for me. I'm never going to ask to see your journal or read your journal or check in with you to see whether or not you're journaling. That is something that you have to do for yourself. And the reason why you have to do it is because as you're going through this program, you're learning, you're enriching yourself, you're learning about yourself. And we primarily practice Lazy Monkey first for us. It's a practice for you first. And then it's a practice that you share with other people when you're comfortable enough sharing that stuff. You know, there's no requirement for you to become a yoga instructor just because you go through this program. You might be going through this program just because you want to, just because you want to learn this stuff. So the journaling aspect comes in because I want you to write down and record the aspects of all of this material that are the most important to you. Everyone's going to get something different. Everyone is going to get something different out of this program. Different parts of this program are going to speak to you differently than somebody else, and that's what the journaling is about. I am a huge advocate for bullet journaling. I love to bullet journal. If you've never heard about it before, you're going to get a big crash course in it. Next, lesson 2 talks about starting your journal. I am not going to be making a video like this talking to you in every single module, in every single lesson of this module. I am going to be coming to you and doing my lectures on lazy monkey yoga material. The rest of the material is going to come from the required reading and books that I've told you to buy, with the assignments that I'm going to give you for writing very simple 2 to 4 page papers on the material that you're going to study in the books. And then also, you're going to see that there are a lot of videos that I've collected over the years that are embedded in this program from other creators. Because even though I love anatomy and physiology, I couldn't explain the respiratory system any better than a doctor could. So I allow the health professionals and really, really good content creators that are able to make anatomy and physiology interesting and exciting, because it really is a dry subject. You know, we could go about this the dry way, or we could go about this the fun and exciting way. And I chose to go the fun and exciting way. So you're going to see the content from me that specifically pertains to our practice, and then you're going to see the other video content by other video creators about whatever. Like when you go to the Starting Your Journal, I'm going to recommend the journal that you buy, which you should have bought already. And then you're going to watch the videos from the gentleman that I chose, my favorite videos about bullet journaling, so that you can learn about the bullet journal style and method. Boom, there you go. That's lesson 2. Lesson 3 is your homework assignments. It is the required reading material that you should obtain, and the DVDs. And then you'll see what the assignments are going to be after you get a brief synopsis of the books. And one thing I want to point out to you about the homework and assignments is that your homework does not need to be turned in until module 2. So this is level 1, module 1. When you sign up for your next course, the next part of the course, that would be level 1, module 2. That's when I would expect for your homework assignments to come pouring in. And like I said, this module is going to be the most difficult for you, because it's going to have so much anatomy in it. What is Taoist yoga? That's a really good question. You know, everyone's heard of Hatha yoga, but what is Taoist yoga? Why is Taoist yoga unique among all the other kinds of yogas that are out there? What is Qigong? I know you've heard of Tai Chi and Qigong. We're going to talk about that and how Qigong plays a role in the lazy monkey yoga practice. What is Taoist alchemy? Really, what is meditation? There's many, many different forms of meditation, and the kind of meditation that we practiced is specifically a Taoist lineage tradition, and we're going to talk about that. The basic concepts in lazy monkey yoga as it pertains to the philosophy of the way of the Tao, and then the Taoist understanding of the body. So you're going to be taking 2 components in this module. You're going to be learning about the scientific viewpoint of the body and the energetic, spiritual Taoist viewpoint of the body. And those two things are synergetic with one another. They're complementary to one another. One is not better than the other. Anatomy and physiology teaches you about the human body and how it works, but thousands and thousands and thousands of years have gone into the practice of Chinese traditional medicine and energy work, understanding how the body works energetically, okay? And these two things are compatible with one another. They go hand in hand with one another. They are not in conflict with one another, okay? One is a scientific view of how the body functions, and one is a traditional. It's a traditional view of how the body works. So then we're going to be going through anatomy and physiology and the body systems. We'll be going through all of the body systems, respiratory, breathing. We're gonna, I actually, in the breathing lesson, it's very exciting because there's a gentleman that is a voice coach, and he's a singer, and he helps people learn how to use their diaphragm and sing from the diaphragm and open up all the cavities of the body in order to breathe deeply and also to be able to vocalize. That is very, very exciting. I really, really want you to work on those exercises because a lot of breath work and deep rhythmic breathing is important in lazy monkey yoga. We don't have a ton of breathing techniques that you're going to learn in the first 200 hours. There's not massive amounts of pranayama exercises and breath retention and all of that. We'll get into that in other levels. But understanding how you breathe and feeling how you breathe is very, very crucially important, okay? Nervous system, digestive system, the endocrine, lymphatic, urinary, cardiovascular, reproductive system, and the Tao of sex. Yes, we're going to be talking about sex because actually sex is very important in Taoism, in Taoist philosophy. We'll talk about that. You know, it's time to open up your mind a little bit. Don't be shy. I'm not going to have you write any papers on sexual alchemy and that stuff. That's going to be enrichment for you. The muscular, skeletal, and connective systems, connective tissue systems is the most important, obviously, because that, as teachers, as lazy monkey yoga instructors, we're primarily dealing with muscle, bone, and connective tissue, okay? And then we're going to go into the lazy monkey yoga style. We're going to start breaking down the class. The one thing you have to understand about the lazy monkey yoga class, the lazy monkey yoga class is designed to be an hour or a 75-minute long class. And for the most part, the entire class is a physical practice, meaning when we start the class, by the time we finish the class, we will have been practicing yoga calisthenics and stretching techniques the entire time. We do not lay on our back at the end of class and do shavasana like other hatha yoga practices. There's no laying around on your back, you know, time for people to fall asleep and snore and fart and stuff on the mat. We don't do that. The lazy monkey yoga practice is a practice that is designed to heal and rejuvenate the body and bring back vitality and energy to the body so that we're able to meditate. The practice prepares the body for meditation. Okay, that's what the lazy monkey yoga style is for. Keeping the body healthy so when you go to sit down and do Taoist meditation and internal alchemy, you have the ability to do so and sit for a prolonged period of time. If you become an advanced meditator, you would be sitting in meditation for probably an hour at a time. Don't get freaked out, okay? You're going to start with 2 minutes at a time and then 5 minutes at a time. Maybe by the end of this 200-hour program, you'll be able to sit quietly and peacefully for maybe 10 to 15 minutes at a time. And that's a lot of progress, okay? But advanced meditators sit for a long time, and the lazy monkey yoga style is specifically designed to keep the body healthy for prolonged periods of meditation. That's really it on the spiritual side. We'll be talking about anatomy and physiology in the brain and the effects of meditation on the brain. I'm going to give you a little bonus content on lucid dreaming and dream yogas. which is not necessarily part of the Taoist practice that we're focusing on, but it's extra because I love doing extra stuff. And then conclusion for Model 1. So I'm going to try to keep my videos to about 10 minutes at a time for you to be able to digest everything I'm saying. This video has gone on for about 20 minutes, which is good. And we're going to keep the video content to about 10 minutes so that you are able to watch, sit back, reflect, and digest the information, journal about it, and keep moving forward in these studies. We will be doing live Zoom sessions in which we are interacting face-to-face over the practice itself, the physical discipline, and then also talking about this other stuff of spirituality and anatomy and physiology. Okay, well, I'm very excited. Let's get started.